Hi guys, how's it going? Welcome back to more of my PS1 games collection 2012. This is part 7, and this will be the second last part of the games. So part 8 will be the last of my PlayStation 1 games, and then I'm going to do a part 9 for, like, you know, memory cards, demo discs, and stuff like that, for anybody that's interested. So yeah, we're going to let's get straight on with it again, shall we? First game we have here is an absolute classic. It is Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back. An absolutely amazing game. I love this game to death. This and the third Crash Bandicoot game are definitely my favourites in the series. This, I always preferred Crash Bandicoot 3, even though I absolutely loved them both. There's absolutely nothing between them. They're both fantastic games. But yeah. What can I say? It's Crash Bandicoot. It's just a blooming awesome, amazing platformer. I love it. And I've got it here. Yeah, here we are. My favourite one, Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped. So it's a Game Station sticker still plastered all over it. Yeah, Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped is my favourite, as I say, my favourite Crash Bandicoot game. But like I say, there's nothing between Crash 2 and Crash 3. They're both fantastic. So yeah, I can't really comment too much on them. They're both amazing, and I'll love them forever. Next we have probably the funnest football game I have ever played, and I still play it now and again. And it is FIFA Road to World Cup '98, which was the World Cup in France. So yeah, this was actually the first FIFA game I ever played. So obviously it's got some nostalgia. And I love it, I wasn't a huge fan of FIFA 97, but FIFA 98, in my opinion, was absolutely fantastic. A lot more fast-paced, lots of countries and that to choose from. Just an awesome game. I just love this game to death. So yeah, one of the most enjoyable FIFA games I've ever played. So next we have Croc Legend of Gobos. Yeah, Croc Legend of the Gobos. I love my platformers, but this, it's a decent game. I think it's got a big fan base, but yeah, Croc Legend of the Gobos. I wasn't that fond of it. The controls were really weird. Yeah, just really weird for a platformer. When you play games like Spyro, Pandemonium, Crash Bandicoot, those PS1 platformers. And then you play this, the controls are really feel really awkward, really stiff, and yeah, but it's still a decent game, don't get me wrong. I've completed it, and it is a decent game, and it gets pretty tough later in the game, but it's definitely not one of the best in my opinion, I'm sorry to say. Next we have Duke Nukem, Time to Kill. Looks like it's time to kill. Was his the first thing he ever said in this game. Basically, when you start the first level, that's the first thing he says. And yeah, it's funny. The voiceovers and that are funny, really funny quotes and stuff. But I just couldn't really get into them when I was younger. I always got lost, kept dying. I think I did use a level select cheat, but I don't remember too much about it. So didn't really get too far in the Duke Nukem games, I'm afraid. But they're pretty decent. Don't get me wrong, but I found them really tough. Gex Deep Cover Gecko, which I think's Gex 3, I believe. Yeah, Gex Deep Cover Gecko, really fun platformer. Completed it about 3 years ago. Could never get far in it when I was younger because I never really knew what I was doing. So basically to progress in the game you have to get a certain amount of remote controls. Each level has 4 remote controls, and to get these remote controls you have to find them by doing certain things throughout the level, or collecting all the fly coins in the level. So yeah, I always found it really difficult when I was younger, didn't get far in it, but like I say, 3 years ago did manage to complete it, and some of the levels were really frustrating as hell. But overall, Gex Deep Cover Gecko, really solid and really enjoyable platformer. Next is another FIFA game, FIFA Football 2003. I'm not really going to comment too much on these, to be honest. They're all, more or less the same. FIFA 2001, 2003, 2004. For the PS1, more or less the same, but I do remember this game had a kick-ass soundtrack, so yeah. That's all I'm going to say on it. Because it's football, you don't want to hear me talk about football for ages, do you? And I do the same with this one as well, which is... case is battered to bits. FIFA Football 2004. FIFA. Cool. Next, we have a non-football game, surprisingly. It is Duke Nukem Land of the Babes. Yeah, just like Duke Nukem Time to Kill, I didn't get far into this game. I did end up using a level select cheat, but like I say, I don't remember too much of Time to Kill or this game. Just don't remember too much about the levels at all. I don't remember too much of the quotes either, but I do remember they were quite funny, quite humorous. But yeah, Land of the Babes, decent I suppose, but I just really couldn't get far in them. These are games I need to go back and play now that I'm older and, you know, more into my games. You know, I could probably complete it with no problem, but just not really got the time to give it a shot, really. Too busy with other games, other games that I enjoy, but I'll probably enjoy them as well, like, but oh well. Next we have Destruction Derby 2. I remember, I think my dad used to have Destruction Derby 1. I think it was the one with like the big box, you know, had the big box, just like the Tekken 2 box, and the Doom box. Yeah, it had the box, and I used to really enjoy it, but I think my dad sold it. I don't know why, because I really enjoyed it. He mustn't have liked it as much as me, so he sold it, and later on I managed to, well, about maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I got this game out of charity shop, Destruction Derby 2, and yeah, it feels more or less like Destruction Derby 1. I don't know if it's better. Feel free to let me know if you've played Destruction Derby 1 and played this game. Feel free to tell me what one's better. But yeah, I really enjoyed this game. Found it pretty tough, but I maybe just suck at the game, not really had too much practice with it. But yeah, Destruction Derby 2, not a big fan of the normal races. I prefer, you know, the Destruction Derby, you know, in the arena, you know, it's fantastic. So yeah, I like that game, it's really good. Next we have Wipeout 2097. Yeah, Wipeout 2097. It's alright. I quite like my Wipeout games. I like the HD one on the PS3. But this one, it seems okay, but it doesn't feel like it's got like a lot of content in it. You know, it doesn't look like it's gonna have much content in it at all. Like tracks or different different cars, different vehicles you can drive. But don't get me wrong, still a really fun game with a really kick-ass soundtrack. So yeah, Wipeout 2097. I can never say that right, can I? Rather annoying, actually. Next, we have another platformer. This one is ScoobyDoo and the Cyberchase. So yeah, I absolutely loved ScoobyDoo back in the day. I also watched the cartoon a lot. Yeah, when I knew there was a game out, a platformer based on ScoobyDoo, I really wanted to get it. And when I got it, I actually really enjoyed it. There was remember parts in this game that were actually really tough. I have played through it recently and it didn't seem too bad apart from the final boss, who was a bit of a bitch, to be honest. But yeah, I found it a lot harder when I was younger, overall. But yeah, a really good platform in my opinion. You play half the levels as Scooby-Doo, half the levels as Shaggy. So yeah, it's cool. And I tell you what's quite funny about this actually. I didn't think too much of this at the time, but hopefully you can see the disc here. Scooby-Doo and Die Cyberjargo, or something in the lines of that. Scooby-Doo and Die Cyberjargo, or something like that. Yeah, it's German. The disc's actually got German writing on it, which is a bit worrying, but it's in English, so that's cool. I just found that a bit weird. So. Oh, what the hell? I showed that in the last part. Get out of here, man. What the hell? I've got games here I showed in the last part. I don't know how they've got mixed up, but oh well. to be a bit careful here. Right. Next we have Worms Armageddon, which I originally played back in the day on the PC and absolutely loved the game to death. And don't know why, but it stopped working for some reason. Don't know whether it was the disc, which it probably is. And I think we threw it out, so it could have been a computer fault, I don't know. But we threw the disc out anyway, so yeah. But yeah, Worms Armageddon. Wasn't a big fan of the original Worms for the PS1, just didn't like the look of it at all. But yeah, Worms Armageddon, a really fun game, and I enjoyed the campaign on it. I think it's really good. And yeah, nice little feature for the game. So yeah, Worms Armageddon. Next, now one of these games that I really can't get into, and it is Oddworld Abe's Exodus. I believe I showed you Odyssey in part 1, I think. So yeah, now a 2-disc game. Just 1 and 2. Yeah. I just can't get into the Oddworld games. I know they've got a big fan base. People really like the Oddworld games, but personally, it's just not my kind of game. I just do not like getting stuck and like figuring out what to do. I just like a simple game that's easy to play through. So obviously, this is not my kind of game. But you know, with what I played, they do seem like pretty decent games. Just not really my kind of thing. But yeah, I'm still glad to have it though. Don't get me wrong. Glad to have both games. Okay, so I think I'll make this the last 3 games, and these are 3 absolutely tremendous games, in my opinion. I just love these games to death. First one, mainly out of nostalgia. I will never part with this game. I just love it to pieces. Through nostalgia, we'll get to that in a moment. And it is the original Digimon World. I just absolutely love Digimon World to death, to be honest. It's just a fantastic game. Really enjoyable. I mean, I remember back in the day I used to play as a friend of mine. I used to have a friend that lived next door to me before I moved house. I was about 10 at a time or something. Yeah, we used to always play Digimon World. Basically, we used to always play his copy. You know, we used to take turns train Digimon and battle and stuff. Just really fun. And I remember I was just dying to get the game. I asked my granny if she'd buy me the game for my Christmas. I remember getting it, and I just played it to death. I just loved this game to pieces, and I still do, for nostalgia. You know, I just miss those days where you could like go around to your friend's house with like your memory card and stuff, and like plug it in, and basically battle with each other's Digimon. It was pretty fantastic, and yeah, I just love this game to death. So Digimon World. Just so much, you know, memories really. So, what can I say? Amazing. Next we have 2 fantastic games again, and from one of my favourite video game series of all time. So here we have Resident Evil 2. Oh God, just tremendous game. Obviously got 2 discs as well. You've got Leon, Leon scenario, and Claire scenario. Obviously I've got the platinum version. But yeah, Resident Evil 2, like I say, fantastic game. 2 different characters, and a total of 4 different scenarios. Like each character's got an A and a B scenario, so it's like 4 different scenarios overall, which is a huge amount of content for a PS1 game. And like I say, it's a fantastic game. A lot better than the first one in my opinion, even though I do love the first one as well. And possibly my favourite one, and it is Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, which I don't think's got as much content as Resident Evil 2. I wouldn't say it's got as much content. It's only got 1 scenario, like 1 main game scenario. Once you complete the scenario, the main game, you get like a bonus game. It's like the mercenaries mode. You have to you can play 3 different characters that are in the game, the mercenaries. And yeah, basically each mercenary's got different like guns and stuff, which is a pretty cool mini game, bonus game. I really enjoyed that, and got like 6 or 7 different costumes for Jill. So yeah, it's really good, including the one from Dino Crisis and the original Resident Evil, which is an added bonus in my opinion. But yeah, Resident Evil 3. I just love Nemesis. He's just one of the best villains ever, like monsters to fight in the Resident Evil game. So yeah, I love Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Bloody fantastic. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. See you guys. Thanks for watching.